Hello, everyone. Today, I will be talking about a specific example where Uila helped resolve issues with a critical application for the healthcare environment. This application that I'm going to talk about was eClinicalWorks. It's a EHR software for comprehensive clinical documentation, solutions on telehealth, population health, patient engagement, revenue cycle management, as claimed by their website as well as their customers, right? So any eClinicalWorks application, right? I'll just call it ECW for the video as such, right? Any slowdown or timeout that occurs there has a direct impact on the streamlined EHR management or patient management for that, or telehealth even, right? For the hundreds and thousands of physicians, right, that could be involved with the healthcare organizations, right? So I'm using a specific example, right? This is where the healthcare organization had thousands of physicians, right? And they had challenges with this particular application, right? And the cost of impact when you have unplanned system failures for such an application, right, where it's impacting elective surgeries, it's impacting billing paperwork, it's obviously has a direct impact on the HIPAA compliance as well, right? And based on industry standards, this could cost anywhere between $600 to $700 per hour per physician. So it's right. They even say the total revenue cost for downtime for a healthcare organization is like almost $9,000 a minute, right? So very, very important for the healthcare organization to resolve this problem at the earliest, right? So let's talk about the problem that was reported before talking about how Uila's solution helped the user there. So again, this was a problem that occurred in the afternoon between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. on a specific day, right, where the application slowdown was reported on this ECW application, right? The database queries were slow, right, or were getting timeouts, right, in certain situations, depending on the physician, causing interruption in the services, right? So obviously, like I mentioned, impacts billing, impacts telehealth, impacts patient management, impacts a lot of things, right? So what did they do there, right? So they used the Uila solution, right? They actually started with the Uila service grouping view, right? So where Uila was easily able to identify obviously the dependencies that existed between the ECW servers to the database, right? And that's where Uila pointed out that there were some deficiencies there. There were some challenges in that area, right? And again, as you know, Uila does draw application dependency mapping automatically. It's updated dynamically in real time. And then directly from the dependency mapping, right, you can drill down to the root cause view. So what Uila was able to observe that between 1 p.m. and 1:30 p.m., the application response times were quite high, right? And looking into it more, right, they were able to observe that certain transactions were taking more than a minute to process, right? And you can see this in this worst transactions view as well. So the issue at the end of the day for the high application response time originated at the vendor. So Uila was able to show the user that it wasn't their infrastructure, right? It wasn't their own server resources, wasn't anything wrong with the database server, it wasn't anything wrong with the network, right? Issues occurred more at the vendor end, right? So the healthcare IT team worked with the vendor, pointed out the specific transactions that they shared with them, right? And giving them the opportunity to fix the issue at hand, right? And then what the vendor did was with the next update changes, and then everything was back to normal with fast transactions and zero timeouts, right? So this way you can see how Uila took the user from the user complaint, right, which occurred from those hundreds of physicians, down to the actual root cause, right, including the application transaction level information at the millisecond level. That is very critical at the millisecond level, which makes Uila's solution, right, very unique in its true full stack observability capability, right? So not only will it tell you if there's infrastructure resource issues, not only will it tell you there's virtual network issues, physical network issues, but even take you down to that application transaction level stuff, right? So hopefully this was helpful to everyone. And obviously this issue can apply to any third-party application, not necessarily just this healthcare application I spoke about, right? So this was just a live example that we saw, right? Can apply to any other application across different verticals, right? Whether it's government, manufacturing, retail, education, anybody, applies to anyone, right? So thank you for joining me today, and have a great day.